Hi there, my name is Vince. This is my beautiful boat Willow. Willow is a Dyna 53 built in Taiwan in 1988 and is powered by two Detroit 450 horsepower turbo diesel engines. Boat maintenance is always something that's ongoing, and there's never a dull moment when you own a cruiser, and there is always the odd problem. So what is the problem at the moment? Well, the problem is that I can't start the starboard engine. I know what the problem is, I've had it before. The problem is that the Bendix on the starter motor is a little bit corroded and is not sliding up and down the rod properly, so it's not starting the engine. It could be temporarily fixed and re-greased, but it's not really a good measure. I've had the problem before, so I've decided that I'm going to swap the starter motor out with a new one. So I've got a Delco Remy remanufactured part, automotive part, and from Mexico. It costs about $400. It's a 40 MT 12 volt. Comes very nicely packed. The starter motor solenoid at the back there, with the main starter motor, and then the housing of the Bendix at the front. Tools, not very many really. A 10mm spanner, a 9/16 spline socket, which is required to remove the three main starter motor bolts, a 3/4 inch spanner for the big battery terminals at the back, and then finally a wrench and a couple of extension pieces to make it easy. Okay, so first start by removing the battery terminals. I've used some tie wraps there to keep the positive ones just separate from the negative ones. The negative ones all go to the back of the starter motor. Then remove the three 9/16 spline bolts, and you can take the starter motor straight out. It's pretty heavy, it weighs about 60 pounds, so be careful. Here's the new starter motor. When it comes out of the box, it is in a particular configuration where the solenoid is lined up with a small white line on the Bendix housing. That unfortunately won't fit in my installation, and the bell housing, Bendix housing, needs to be rotated slightly. Fortunately, you can do that quite easily by removing the 6 face bolts with a Torx 40 bit. 5 screws are quite long, and the other one's a little bit shorter. The short screw goes in the holes that are next to the solenoid along in there. The faceplate could be easily removed or rotated, and it comes away to reveal quite a lot of holes in the main casing there, so that the solenoid can be rotated quite a long way. There is a small seal which needs to be put back when the faceplate is replaced. There are half a dozen small spherical grommets which just seal, and they can be pushed out with a screwdriver. There's the small screw going in by the solenoid. So I've now put the faceplate back on again. It's slightly rotated. I've torqued up the Torx bolts, and the faceplate is now quite secure. The spherical grommets can go back, they just slot straight back into the half a dozen empty holes. And now you can see that the solenoid and the Bendix housing is rotated from where it used to be. It's not lined up anymore. So that's what I want to achieve. So, time to go back and put the starter motor back in. Reverse the process really. Slots in very easily. Do up 3 9/16 bolts. And you can see there's a little bit of clearance there. That's the clearance that I needed to stop the solenoids from hitting the bottom of the motor of the actual engine itself. The terminals can then be replaced. There's the positive terminal where the solenoid power is, and the main battery terminal that can just be replaced and tightened, and then all the negative terminals go on the back of the motor. And so now we get to the moment of truth. Well, I hope you liked the video, and if it helps you to swap your starter motor out, all the best. Give me a thumbs up.